Any potential debate over the Second Amendment is now over. The left, wanting to eat away at the rights of gun ownership, have completely given up their position. If this was a chessboard, they have just sacrificed their queen for absolutely nothing. What happens with the riots is the fact that in Minnesota, the mayor, the ineffectual pussy-ass progressive mayor of Minneapolis, ordered police to stand down. The police gave up their post. Rioters came into the police station and destroyed it. Allegedly, they tried to cut the gas lines in an attempt to blow it up entirely. The public's trust is waning with the police, in addition to the fact that they enforced these BS lockdowns over COVID, well extending the time for them, well past the original goal, which was to avoid overrunning the hospitals, flattening the curve, as they said. This was the original goal, and we've well gone over that. The police are then enforcing these horrific measures of detaining people in their own homes, essentially making them prisoners, not letting them go on the beach, taking someone who is defying the order, who's 100 meters into the water, and bringing him back in on a paddleboard in Malibu, California. Now the police have stood down on the basis of the orders of many leftist mayors around the nation and left the public to defend themselves. I have never wanted a gun. I never felt it necessary to own a gun. Now that I have a family and I'm not alone and I'm in charge of their protection, and I can't trust the politicians, I cannot trust the government to come in and protect me, my local government, it is incumbent upon me to protect myself. I told my friend, a lefty, that I was going to be purchasing stock in gun companies because I see a dramatic rise in sales several days ago. He told me that how I spend my money and how I invest demonstrates my morals. Let me tell you the morals that I am now abiding by. If the government is unwilling or unable to protect us as citizens, then it is incumbent upon me, and not only necessary, but completely moral, to own a firearm in order to fight back against anarchists and would-be looters who want to make hell on earth, that want to destroy our property. There is no more debate about whether or not gun ownerships should or should not be. How? You have just taken somebody who was in the middle on the subject, because I understood the rationale of the right to protect ourselves, to own guns originally, but I also understood that having them in society is not necessarily a good thing. And like many leftists, I would say, well, what's the good? What if nobody had a gun? The problem with that is that now the only people that are going to have guns, if you take it away from law-abiding citizens, are the ones who are not going to obey the law. And now you are seeing it firsthand. What can happen if somebody invades your home? And the fact that Minneapolis, when somebody invaded a pawn shop and to loot it, to destroy it, and the guy shot him, and then Minneapolis charged him with murder, that is a load of BS. You should be allowed to protect your property. You should be allowed to protect your business, your family, your home. And when somebody comes in with nefarious intentions, part of what keeps them at bay from doing that more frequently is the fact that there might be a firearm on the other end of that. And that is why statistically there are less in-home burglaries in the United States than there are in countries that have abolished guns like Britain. There are statistics to back this up. Now, I am firmly pro-Second Amendment. You cannot take my right to protect myself away from me, especially when the government is so deficient in protecting them, as said the mayor of Minneapolis was. They allowed these protests to become riots, and then to spread out of control rather than squash them early. You squash the monster early. Now, I have to buy a gun. I have to protect my family. And I think it's incumbent upon everybody to do so. Second Amendment, chess game. Bye-bye. There's no more debate about it. See ya. Good luck getting any legislation passed that's going to inhibit ownership of firearms. Peace and blessings to everybody out there. This is my take. If you have a comment, please leave it below. I think that the calculation has changed dramatically. Anybody on the center? now definitely sees the logic in owning a gun. Peace out.